Today, I want to talk about a tension I know you've probably felt, that space between stillness and movement, between waiting for the right moment and taking the reins. It can be difficult to discern when it's a good time to move and when it's a good time to wait. And if you're someone who's deeply intuitive and deeply driven, you've probably wrestled with those questions. Part of you wants to go, go, go. You want to build, you want to create, and the other part's like, no, definitely not. Not yet. And that tug of war isn't just emotional, it's energetic. And today we're going to talk about how to read that energy, manifest with intention, and know when to act or when stillness is the real move. Let's cue the reel. Let's be honest, we live in a culture that worships speed. The faster you reply, the faster you launch, the more on it you seem. But here's what I've learned repeatedly and sometimes painfully: fast doesn't mean forward. There are times when I've been in build mode or I've seen other people in build mode and they're just saying yes to everything, feeding off momentum. You think you're in flow, but you're not really creating, you're reacting. And it's not intentional. And that's because motion isn't the same as movement. This matters when it comes to manifestation because you can take action every single day and still not move closer to what you want if the energy behind it isn't aligned. One way to figure that out is by asking yourself, is what I'm doing rooted in clarity, or am I just avoiding being still and not doing anything right now? This is where everything starts to shift. Instead of asking, what should I do next? When you're talking to the universe, try asking, what's the energy behind this? That's where the real clarity lives. That's where manifestation begins. Some questions you can use when checking in with yourself and the different actions that you're taking are, does this feel like pressure or peace? Am I acting from inspiration or from guilt? Do I feel pulled in this direction? Or am I pushing? Your body will tell you, and your energy will tell you first. When I feel tension in my chest, or words just won't flow, or I'm over-explaining, that's when I pause because I know that energy, and it's the energy of proving, not creating. And stillness is not necessarily stagnation, it's preparation. Think seed underground, silence before thunder, an inhale before a scream. That quiet energy is intelligence, but you only catch it if you stop long enough to listen. Let's be real though, sometimes waiting isn't wisdom and it's fear wearing a mask. Some people say, oh, I'm waiting for a sign, but sometimes the discomfort is the sign. I've watched incredible ideas sit untouched for months, not because they weren't ready, but because their creators were afraid. They're afraid to be seen, afraid to fail, afraid to begin without perfect clarity. So they told themselves, I'm letting it breathe. I'm just going to wait. But really, they were hiding. So if this hits a nerve, here's your call out. Are you waiting or are you hiding? And if fear is the only thing that's standing in the way of you doing something, that's your cue to act. Aligned manifestation doesn't mean you'll never feel scared. It means you move when the energy is right, even if your voice shakes. You know it's the right thing to do, so you do it. You break down that fear wall, walk through the door, do whatever you need to do, and start the thing, if the energy feels right. And knowing when to move and when to wait isn't a checklist. It's a relationship with your intuition, with your nervous system, with the energy of whatever you're calling in. You don't figure this out per se. You feel it again and again and again until you trust it. One way to figure out what you should be doing is asking yourself, what's your energetic state right now? How are you feeling? Are you feeling grounded or are you feeling scattered? Are you feeling a clear direction or are you feeling afraid or aligned? If you're feeling rooted and like the energy is there and it's just fear in your way, it's time to act. If not, don't force it. This is a time for you to pause and realign Every single manifestation is built moment by moment by learning to trust what your energy is telling you. Sometimes that means you're going to take a big leap, and sometimes it's just one very small, clear step, and both are equally important. Something I keep reminding myself of is manifestation isn't just sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's not about hoping or wishing or just dreaming. It's a partnership. It's a three-way partnership between your energy, your action, and whatever unseen forces are at work that we'll just call the universe. Sometimes that means that big leap moment, taking those bold steps, launching a project, or having a tough conversation. Other times it means just knowing when to rest instead of forcing things. If you find yourself out of alignment, that's completely normal. That happens if you're unable to just stay in the energy that you'd like to stay in. And that's a time to pause. Practice thinking the next best feeling thought that can help you raise your energy back up to a level that you like to be at and figure out your way forward from there. Manifestation isn't about doing it perfectly. It's about being present. It's about being fully here in the mess and in the magic. So ask yourself, are you really in the room with your vision? Or are you just peeking through the window? Because if you're in the room with it, you're going to feel it. You're going to know. You're going to feel good, aligned. Things are happening. If you're just peeking through the window, you're going to feel a block. You're not on the level of energy that you need to be on to make things happen. So if you're in that space right now, wondering whether to leap or hold still, ask yourself, is this pause coming from wisdom or is it fear disguised as patience? And even more importantly, do you trust yourself enough to know the difference? That's the work. Manifestation isn't just about calling something in, it's about becoming the person who can listen, discern, and move in truth. If this resonated with you, if you're in this position or you know someone who's standing at the edge right now, just unsure of what to do, not taking any action, or just taking the wrong action, send this to them. Give them some clarity. This might help them decide which direction to go in. If you'd like for me to go deeper on this topic, follow, leave a review, a comment, and come back next week. Let me know what you think. Until then, don't just move fast, move in your truth.